Every 12th man has their unbreakable game day tradition. The lucky hat, the undefeated jersey, even if they might seem a little harebrained. But you wouldn't believe Bill VandenBush's game day tradition. Then again, you might not believe the life of Bill VandenBush to begin with. The year was 1969. VandenBush, a high school football player from Westminster, California, was still a teenager. You protested the Vietnam War, and then you joined it. Why?
Well, partly because I didn't understand it. As a young man, I had no idea where this place was.
VandenBush was leading his ground unit in a search for a downed helicopter when American planes mistakenly bombed his squad.
The bomb blast, when it crushed my face, tore my eye out. That was frightening. That's when I knew that I was gonna die, right there. There I was, 19 years old, thousands and thousands of miles from home. No mom to kiss it and make it better.
The horror still wasn't over.
I started to get up off the ground, and the sniper came out of the bushes and shot me 5 times.
Against all odds, Bill VandenBush lived. There were days he wished he hadn't. He was sent home only to find out that young men like him, who'd been fighting the enemy, were now being treated like enemies themselves. When you came home, you were branded a loser. Someone called you a baby killer.
Baby killers, a loser. I was very upset because I wanted to go to college, and there were still lots of protests on the college campuses.
When the protesters would shout, he couldn't shout back. The sniper fire had torn out his throat. He had no voice for 10 years.
The doctor said, "You'll never speak again." They said you'll have to have tubes in your throat to breathe. In fact, at one point they told me that I may not live very long. I was looking at all the options, and suicide's an option.
The years passed. The silence and pain nearly swallowed him. He took a job in Seattle in 1979, but he got laid off. He endured a second divorce. And yet, in the midst of all that heartache, Seattle had one place where he felt he belonged.
First thing I did was go to a Seahawks game. I would go probably 4 or 5 times a year. Nobody knows who you are, really. You're anonymous. You're just a fan. You're one of the 12.
Could you yell?
Yeah, I would practice, you know. I would practice yelling. So I would just let out with the biggest screech that I could generate.
Did that make a noise, your screech?
It did. It did. Not nearly as loud as everybody else.
In a funny way, the Seahawks kind of gave you your voice back.
They did. They did.
He found his calling, counseling soldiers who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. He wrote a book and met his wife on the book tour, and last year she gave him a present only Bill could love. A prosthetic eye with the Seahawks logo painted on it.
It sounds funny, but it really spoke to everything that I love about Bill.
Some people would think it's weird or creepy, but I've lived with this artificial eye for 45 years.
And nothing says love like a wife giving you a Seahawks logo eye.
Yeah, this is the ultimate expression of love.
Who says there's no I in team?
I was so elated when I saw this thing. I just wanted to jump up and down and shout.
Some people wear their favorite Seahawks hat. You wear your favorite Seahawks eye.
I do. I wear my Seahawks shirt and my Seahawks pants and my Seahawk eye.
So thank you, Bill VandenBush, about 3 decades too late, for what you did and what you lost and what you gained for us.